Yes, dears, welcome to Maryrell Sweden. That's my TikTok channel, and Maryrell Sweden chapters. That's my YouTube channel. Those of you who are passing by for the first time, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribe. That way, you can push me ahead. Yes, dears. I normally talk about culture shock, stories, talk about everyday life. Dears. Now, what we have today? Today is about side chicks. Side chicks versus wives. Who is really winning? Uganda versus Sweden reality. Hmm. Yeah, let's talk about, the truth about sidekicks no one talks about. Yeah? Uh, just a moment. Yes. Yes. And who is the sidekick? Side chick, not a kick. Yes. It's kind of a slang. It's a term used to describe, a woman who is romantically or sexually involved with a man who is already in a committed relationship, okay? Like a girlfriend or partner or wife, okay? Without the main partner knowing or approving. So in simple terms, she's not the main partner, the relationship is like, usually secret, yes, it's often involved cheating or dishonesty. Mark that, those words, The important thing is the term is informal and can be disrespectful or judgmental, okay? There is also a male equivalent sometimes called a side guy, a healthier conversation. People prefer neutral terms like, affair, partner, or extramarital relationship, Then you are diplomatic and respectful. Yeah, so don't forget that, yes. So, my friends, let's start by saying that side chicks get peace. Wives carry responsibility. But let me ask you something, Tears. Are side, chicks really winning? Are they winning, Tears? Imagine this: a wife, shows up, drops off the, her 3 kids at the, side chick's house and says, since you enjoy, the sweet part, now take care of these kids. Take full responsibility. Imagine that. Would she still feel like she's winning? Would she? Dears, today I want to talk about something real, something many people think about but don't say it loud. And I'll compare how this plays out in Uganda and how different it is here in Sweden. Friends, if you are new here, let me remind you, welcome back to my channel. Of course, if you don't know, I share life, real life, stories about culture, relationships, and the differences, between life in Uganda and Sweden. And today's topic, it might be a little uncomfortable, but it's real, very real. Friends, let's talk about, the illusion of peace. Let's start here. People often say the side chick, is enjoying life, no stress, no responsibility, just vibes. And yes, on the surface, it can look that way. No school runs, no cooking every day, like no dealing with bills, like family pressure, the emotional weight of household. She gets, the best version of the man, the one who shows up smiling, relaxed, and even generous, Friends, here is the truth. That peace is temporary. It's conditional. And it's built on someone else's carrying the real load. It's at the expense of another person. The real partner. Okay? Just remember that. So let's go to the part where we talk about the reality of being a wife, Tears. The wife is not just there, she's building something, she's raising children, she's managing a home, she's standing through good days and bad days, she sees the man when he's tired, stressed, and even difficult. That's not easy, dears. That's the responsibility. And sometimes from the outside, it doesn't look glamorous, But let me tell you something. Responsibility is not weakness, it is strength. Dears, let's come to the part when the tables turn. And let's go back to that question. What if that table, is turned? What if the wife said, here are the kids, Who is the real life? Handle it. Hmm? No more short vis, no more fun moments only. Okay, would the side chick still feel like she's winning? Would she? Hmm? Because it's easy to enjoy a situation. Yeah, what I was saying, it is easy to enjoy a situation when you only carry 10% of it. Okay, but you can't carry 100%. Can you carry it? Can you carry 100%? Just ask yourself. Friends, let's turn to the part of Uganda, or Africa context. Yes, in many African societies, including Uganda, these situations are not new. No, they aren't. Sometimes they are not even openly discussed, but they do exist. There can be cultural tolerance, silence or pressure to manage the situation, or instead of confronting it. Women are often expected to endure. Remember the word endure? Yes, to hold the family together, and no matter what, just endure. And that creates a complex, reality where roles are not always equal. No, they aren't. You're a woman, you just have to endure and, hold the family together, no matter what. They're often told. Friends, now we come to the part where Sweden, comes in the picture, No, here relationships are built on more equality, openness, and shared responsibility. Okay, the idea of a man openly having a side relationship while maintaining a family, yes, it's not acceptable. No, it's far less accepted socially. No, it's far less accepted socially. No, friends, I have to tell you, if it happens, consequences come quickly, emotionally, socially, and even legally. Even legally, there is less silence, okay, and more accountability. Remember that about Sweden. Yes, accountability. So, dears, let's conclude by asking the question: are side chicks winning, or are they just enjoying a temporary moment without responsibility? And is the wife losing, or is she the one building something real? A long-lasting, relationship. Ask yourself those questions. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, and if this conversation, touched you, share this video, and let's get ourselves, involved and, informed. We have to, we need this narrative. We need to have this conversation more openly discussed. Okay. Thank you for this time. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real conversations like this. See you in the next video. Bye.